right, Nick, the serious stuff is out of the way. We covered President Biden and former President Trump and the state of the race as the RNC comes up. Now let's get to the serious stuff. To link this in or to not link this in. One of my favorite segments here on the show that we like to do. My co-host is already laughing for those of you watching on YouTube. It truly is funny, but I said it in the intro of the show. The number one, the world's number one business connecting platform. And people are just using it all willy-nilly. Like it's Facebook all over again. And we're seeing some outrageous posts. But today, Nick and I are going to tell you whether or not you should link this in or not link this in. All right, Nick, the first one's up here on our screen. So the post reads, I used to think I couldn't be successful in my career and be a good mom, and is in all capital letters. I'm learning as my daughter quickly approaches her second birthday, parentheses, leave me alone. I'm still emotional about this. And I am pregnant with a second little one on the way, that quite the opposite is true. I can be fantastic at my job and then unplug to be the mom my kiddos deserve. I'm capable of both. Being a mom has honestly helped me be a better coworker in a lot of aspects as well. I have more patience than ever. I have empathy towards clients and candidates that I partner with. My time management has, in all caps, to be on point, or I fall behind in both my personal and work life. Being a work parent is not for the faint of heart, but it can be very rewarding. All right, Nick. I mean, I'm laughing already because again, I would not post any of these things. Spoiler alert, folks. I would not be posting any of these things to LinkedIn. LinkedIn to me is, hey, I got a new job. Thanks. Give me some congratulations. I just created this video. Check it out. I was on this segment. That's all I use LinkedIn for. If you follow me on LinkedIn, appreciate it. Michael Leon, Nicholas Saveri, follow us on LinkedIn. But that is all I use it for. So I'm going to disagree with anything you say, whether or not to link it in or not link it in, because I don't think you should link any of these in. But a post like that, kind of cuts at the heart, Nick, cuts at the heart. The violins playing in the background cuts at the heartstrings of a working mom, out there. And then she's giving some advice to her coworkers how she can be a better coworker. Would you link this in or would you not link it in? What's your recommendation here?
So I'm going to surprise a lot of people because I think the last time I did this, I hit one of these posts with like a hard hell no. And that may happen again, but not with this one. I'm actually okay with this posting. The only thing I'm going to offer here is that if you're going to post this, like direct it back to yourself in some way in the form of something professional. In other words, if you wrote like a blog post about this, or if you appeared on a podcast or some way for us to hear more about the story, I'm in. I totally get it. And it might be my bias because for the better part of a couple of years, I was also balancing the kids and also working from home. So I totally understand. And in 2024, I expect to see more posts of this, of people just sort of unloading, the balance of family and your professional life. I totally get it. But you kind of have to have some way to sort of bring us in. Like you've invited us, like you told us something personal. Where are we going from here? Right? Like if you're trying to like put a question out to people, like how do you all do it? Awesome. But otherwise, this is kind of a little bit of a humble brag. I work hard. I do this stuff. The end. Great. I mean, like that, you could have sent me that as a text if we're friends. Otherwise, I'm not sure what we're doing here.
Again, I said before this segment, I would not link any of this in. I would not put any of this up. LinkedIn is a business connecting platform. I don't understand why people are using it similar to a Facebook to post just how they're feeling, or if they're in a relationship, or if they're on vacation. Like that's not what it's for. It's, in my opinion, again, just given the masthead, the world's number one business connecting platform. So I wouldn't link it in. But now that you kind of say that, you're right. If she's going to put a post like that, direct it into something that you've done that's beneficial, right? You've been on a podcast talking about the challenges. Maybe it was a niche based podcast that talks about working moms, balancing both the work life and the home life. I think you're right, Nick. So you know what? I may come over on the to link this in, but with a caveat of that you should put it, redirect it back to you in something you've done, a call to action, as Nick Saveri would say. Okay, that's our first one. All right, Nick, they get progressively worse here. because in this second one, as you can see on our screen here, it says, and this is from a repeat offender that's recently been on the other LinkedIn segment, but it says, "Good day to my wonderful network. Today I am launching my campaign to be your company's next recruiter. I, along with my running mate," and it's a picture of the dog with an American flag. For those of you that are not watching us on YouTube, his running mate is the dog, "are seeking your vote and support to secure a new in-house or contract recruiter opportunity in the New York City area. I have 10 plus years of experience in the public sector, having worked for," and they list a couple of companies. "My platform is based on integrity, sincere collaboration, recruitment with DEI in mind, and an equitable experience for all candidates." Then the dog's name, "believes in the same ideals and also is in favor of treats for all. If you want to stand on the right side of history and help us secure our next role, we ask for your vote by liking this post, commenting on it, sharing it with your network, and tagging your HR contacts, please." Okay, Nick Saveri. For the people that are, again, not watching us on YouTube, I highly recommend that you do watch this segment on YouTube because it's visually appealing. But the picture of the dog, this is the same person that had the last picture of the dog. So clearly they're still unemployed. Okay. So we can kind of gather from that. And that segment was about 4 or 5 months ago. So I'm already off to a bad start. But this person posted this in a campaign sense because, again, this is around the first debate was happening. A little bit intriguing. I think the structure of it, as somebody who has done, kind of brand marketing and stuff like that, I think it's interesting. Okay. You got me a little bit on the hook. But again, business connecting platform, like I've mentioned. So they're talking about, hey, I need to get a job. Like I need to work back in business. This is what LinkedIn is for, right? To tell people I'm available, I'm open on the market. To do it in this kind of campaign way is a little interesting. But what does Nick Saveri say? Like Chuck Norris, thumbs up, thumbs down to LinkedIn or to not LinkedIn? What says Nick Saveri?
My opening there wasn't as good, but this makes me think we need a drop for a sound effect here. But no, and Florence, doggy, if you're listening to me, your owner's an idiot. I'm sorry to be the one to break this to you. So the thing about this post, there's many things here. First off, it's weird that people put themselves out there in the way of, I'm looking for work. I get it. Totally understand. But if you're going, the thing that I think draws people to your postings or your account on LinkedIn are your accomplishments. It's not enough to say that I'm looking for an opportunity. Awesome. In some way, more or less, when people post anything on LinkedIn, that's kind of what you're saying is, yes, I may be happy with what I'm doing, but I'm putting myself out there because if, someone wants to hit me up and offer me the opportunity of a lifetime, I'm willing to listen. So I think to anyone that wants to put themselves out there on LinkedIn, I think the way you do it is by sharing your accomplishments. And I'm not going to try to brag here for a minute. Well, I mean, it may come off as bragging. I don't care if it does. When Mike and I put out episodes, or I do over at Educate US, or Mike does on his various appearances on television, those are accomplishments. Hey, just did something, putting it out there. And yes, part of it is for our friends and supporters that just want to, we want to make sure they're along for the ride, right? That's great for them. But it's also to let it be known, hey, I'm out in these streets doing some incredible work. Just letting you all know, right? But it can't be, hey, podcaster here at Leon Media Network looking for opportunities. What would draw someone? But if I'm telling you, hey, just spoke with, I don't know. I just dropped a name here. Sorry, Jake Tapper. Then people are kind of interested. It's like, well, look what work is going on. So you got to lead with accomplishment. You can't lead with desperation. And that's a tough word here, but I'm going to put it out there. You sound like you're hungry. That's cool, but tell me what you've done. Sorry, Florence.
No, listen, Florence, we're sorry. You're a good boy or a good girl. I'm assuming it's a girl for Florence. I have no idea these days. Who knows with the dogs? I say that to say that you're right. Like leading with the accomplishments. I think there's a couple things here because it's all subjective, right? We're obviously poking fun. We're having a little bit of fun. But in all honesty, to Nick's point, if you're putting yourself out there to try to get a job, LinkedIn is the front door that people instantly check when somebody applies for a job. I'm telling you right now, as somebody who's been interviewing recently for day job type things or some side work, I always see under my profile when you get LinkedIn Premium who's been looking at your profile. And inevitably, 9 times out of 10, it's somebody from a company that I spoke to, right? That's always the case. So if this is the front door, right, and there's the welcome mat, the reef, whatever it is that's on the front door of the domicile that is, Mike Leon, what do I want it to be, right? And so for this person, right, yeah, it's clever, the dog, the marketing campaign, but to Nick's point, there is a little bit of desperation here. Like you can go about channeling the desperation in a different manner. And I think that's the point of LinkedIn. It's to connect to people and then you direct message them. Hey, I saw you work here and there's an opening here. Would you happen to know somebody there? Or connecting with somebody that you worked with years ago that happens to work at that place that you can hit back up. I know that's tougher for people to do because, hey, I haven't talked to them in 5 years. Now let me ask them if they can help me. But still, that's what this whole platform was for, to connect people, not to tell me that you're desperate and someone please help. Although some people may say it is. Okay, let me tell you what the platform is not for. It's going to be for this last one because I know Nick Saveri is going to put a hard no on this to link this in or to not link this in. Okay, Nick, this is a person that decided, as you're seeing my screen here, to say Beyonce's new album is really cool. This is what the post says, Nick. This is on, again, the world's #1 business connecting platform. Queen Bey just gave us a new album just in time for Q2, and I'll be riding this wavelength all the way through June. It's a great day to, and then there's a bunch of bullet points, set challenging yet attainable goals, give yourself the time and space to reset, not make an April Fool's joke on social media, react to this post if I should change my name on LinkedIn to Cowboy Carter, because her first name is Carter. Hashtag social media, hashtag goals, and it's a picture of her in the Beyonce cowboy outfit on a cowboy. Excuse me, on a horse. She is a cowgirl on the thing. Okay, Nick, business connecting platform. Okay. Just got a new certificate, just got a new job. Jake Tapper joined me this week on the pod. Also, Beyonce dropped her album. What do you think of that? To link this in or to not link this in, what says Nicholas Saveri?
Do not link this in, you colonizer. Damn, I try to laugh. How dare you put your face as a white woman on a black woman's face? What the hell's wrong with you? And that may not have been your intent here from a racial viewpoint, but I'm just going to bring that up because I don't care that your first name goes along with her last name, her married last name. I don't care. It's a stupid post. The album, by the way, is overall good. I would recommend people check it out. But I am not understanding the connection between this album coming out by an artist you like who shares, a name, and then you tying it to some professional advice you give people. Pick the lane. And honestly, the lane that involves you replacing your face with Beyonce, and don't ever do that. Please don't ever do that again. Don't choose that one. Florence, if you're still listening, hit her up and tell her she's being a bozo too. If you do want to post about specific tips, like those 3 that she gave, they're not bad, actually. Way back when, I'm going to do a huge callback. Within the first 20 episodes, maybe 30 at Can We Please Talk, we had a guy on, I believe it was Ish Verduzzo, I think. Ish was awesome. And a lot of Ish's posts are really good advice professionally. And that's where he leaves it. Sometimes he's, flexing, holding a coffee mug or whatever he's doing. Awesome. Live your life. But there's some learning going on there. In this one, I can't see the learning because I'm too busy looking at the fact that you decided to replace Beyonce's face with yours. That's dumb. Stop doing that.
I mean, again, not for the business, the world's #1 business connecting platform. I can't stress that enough. Thank you for indulging us in some of these ridiculous posts. If you're on LinkedIn right now, if you're listening to this, if you've made our way onto the Can We Please Talk show and you're like, hey, that was me in that post, we apologize in advance. But just know that you probably shouldn't have linked it in to the world's #1 business connecting platform.